All right, in this video, we're going to be covering the top 5 things you can do to your Porsche 911 to modernize it. And believe you me, I know all about kind of modernizing or wanting a vehicle to be more modern because there are other sports cars well, a modernized 1991 Toyota MR2, the 2017 GT350. So yes, we would like all our older sports cars to drive like the 2017 Shelby GT350. So what we're going to be doing with the Porsche 911 is covering the top 5 things you need to do to make this car feel more modern, why you should get a 996 generation, and the common problems you're going to run into if you do buy one of these. So what to watch out for with the purchase of a Porsche 911. All right, so I realize that in some ways we don't want a Porsche 911 996 generation to be like the 2017 Shelby GT350 beside us, but let's cover what we've done, the 5 things we've done to make it more like a modern sports car while still maintaining and holding its original analog drive style. The main reason you're going to want to buy one of these is the fact that it is 100% analog with one little digital element to it. So what we've done here, let's count out the 5 things. We've gone with aftermarket lights, which, yes, modernized the look of the car, got rid of the fried eggs look, but it comes at a cost. There are issues. We'll cover that in the video. We've polished and compounded the car. So before you go ahead and get a newer 911, pay 2 to 3 times the price, you can just consider giving a polish, then compound in a good ceramic wax. Then we've had the wheels painted here, and we've got questions and comments for that because, well, this is very different. We already had aftermarket wheels, but with a much older styling. And we've had the lights in the rear re-cleared because I find there's nothing wrong with these original lights. You just need to get them re-cleared. And some will do a muffler swap or remove the cats. So we've had the cats removed. We could have the whole muffler deleted with still the original tips, or you could put black tips to match the rest of the style of the vehicle. But those are some of the things that you can do. Now, of course, you can also switch the clutch. If you switch for the clutch for a stage 2, you're gonna get a little bit more of a sports feel to the car. And of course, you can update your interior. A lot of people go with the touch screen, Bluetooth radio right there. But we've just gone for having a good, clean interior. Now is all about shopping the correct vehicle. Mind you, if you do get a 996, there's a lot of aftermarket parts you can get to change out your interior for a whole new interior. So that's one thing you can definitely do. Just having the outside and inside of the vehicle look fresh and new will modernize and help your 996 Porsche 911 not look so old and drab. Do note, if you are trying to make your Porsche 911 look more modern, yeah, the black wheels really do help. I personally feel that they take 10-15 years off the vehicle, and so do black lights. But when you go with aftermarket lights, notice anything wrong here, drop it in the comment section if you noticed it before I said it. But yeah, the bottom here doesn't light up. Very, very common to have problems like this when you're running aftermarket lights. And the originals, which I just had re-cleared, are working 100%. So keep that in mind. Cat removal. Nice little sound. Still not loud enough for me. But do keep that in mind if you're thinking about switching up your lights. Let me know what problems you have with your classic vehicle. Now, the cleaning phase has yet to be completed. We still got some compounding, polish, compound, and wax to do. We've got to send the lights off to get professionally done because my clear coat job is peeling. Either paint or wrap the front bumper or leave it as it is. Let me know what you think in the comments. What should we do? Paint is going to run about $1,100 for the bumper. A wrap should run $500 to $600 if we wrap it guards red like the rest of the car. And also let me know in the comments what you think of these black wheels. Should we be going with the 2-piece deep dish silver wheels, or have the deep dish silvers sold and sell this kit, or go with that traditional 5-spoke BBS wheel that we've got on right now that we've had painted black? And let me know in the comments, the center hub, would you leave it gray and actual, I think original, because that seems to be metal. Leave it original or go for some new full plastic, including the middle. So no metal, no little metal crest. We'll lose the metal crest and it'll cost about under $100. So really no big deal there. Also debating spacers, but the lip in the tire, if the tire was wider, it would actually come about flush, because you can see the wheel here. The wheel itself is flush, but there's actually a lip underneath that goes in for about an inch, just to show you. So I'm worried if we go with a bigger spacer, we might eat the wheel like we did in our 1995 Mustang, and that almost caused a tire blowout at about 120 kilometers an hour. So let me know in the comment section, what should we do with this Porsche 911? All right, the Porsche 911 is back from the mechanics. We've done wheels, and we had a common problem and a pretty expensive one at that, but we got a solution for you to save a lot of money. The convertible top was a no-go. Little hydraulic cylinders, both sides, well, one side leaked. Mechanics really wanted to double check. I was sure it was that, but they ended up, after doing about an hour of checking around, that it is those cylinders, the hydraulic cylinders. Now, normally, if you get them directly from Porsche, you're going to be running, well, a little over $1,000, well over $1,000 each. So watch, stay tuned as we cover how to save thousands owning a Porsche 911, or a Boxster, because Porsche has this problem with pretty much all the time. So common problem, save thousands of dollars. And I want your comments on the wheels, whether these wheels are better or if we should get our deep dish two-piece wheels either sold or painted and sell this kit. Let me know in the comments. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let's put the pedal to the metal. But before we start, give us a thumbs up, please. Really helps the channel, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. So no regrets thus far, despite the bumper needing to be repainted or wrapped. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll get into pricing for that in just a moment. We still have damage on the lights. Yes, I tried to clear coat them myself. Clearly what I added is coming off, so I've got to get those sent off. How would you prioritize the list of what needs to be done? We'll talk about price in just a moment. Well, the headlights shouldn't be a problem. Getting those clear coated is probably about an hour's worth of work and about $50 worth of product. For about $150, we can have those lights looking new again, like we did on the rear lights of the Toyota MR2. And these lights have already been professionally done, and they come out looking fantastic. And do I have regrets? Can you own a Porsche 911, a classic Porsche 911, and not have it cause you to break the bank or create a divorce? Well, so far so good. We'll get into running into some costs. Normally, the pistons here that are tucked away, the cylinders, the hydraulic cylinders, if you get them directly from Porsche, you're looking at roughly about $1,700 to $2,000 on sale, maybe $1,500. And when one goes, do switch the other, because you're just going to end up paying for labor twice and losing the car twice. I had them refurbished by a company in California. They did a great job. And I don't have regrets, because at 150,000 kilometers, the interior of this is incredible. This thing is analog, all analog. So it has a real analog clutch, real shifter feel. This is the last of the all analog, no digital. Well, almost no digital. There's one little speed reader there that's digital. But this really truly is the end of, look at that. 30 years old, 26 years old, and the door still closes oh so well. Now, if you get a convertible top, do realize a lot of these rattle. This one rattles a lot. The black rattled a little bit. So little problems to be aware of. But an old classic Porsche is going to age incredibly well. It's still going to be better than some new cars when it comes to sound deadening. But yes, the tops are noisy. So do consider getting a hard top if you want, well, just a quieter ride. Now, for the bottom bumper here, let's get into pricing. I need your help, folks. So that bottom bumper either needs to be repainted. It's going to cost me about $1,100 to have it professionally done, or I can have it wrapped for $500 or $600. Now, of course, if I have it repainted, we do need to consider that the new paint, without getting wrapped, is going to get stone chipped and cracked again. So what would you do? Would you just wrap it the color of the vehicle? So like a clear vinyl, not a clear vinyl wrap, but a red wrap, the same color as the vehicle. And what do you think of those wheels? Should we go back to the original silvers and sell these? Or should we have, and I say original, sorry, they're ultra deep dish 2-piece wheels. Should we go with those and have those painted black? Do you prefer the black? Do you prefer the silver? Right now I can get the wheels powder coated for about $400 for the 4. So I'd love to know your opinion, what you think. So drop it in the little comments section. And on my end, I'm going to continue to work to try to get this vehicle better. I'm thinking maybe just one last polish, compound, and wax. There's that bumper. Those are the issues. And I almost feel like with all the stone chips on this hood, it's a beautiful car at 10 feet, but it's far from beautiful at 1 foot. What would you do? Would you sell it, start over on another 911, get a newer generation for literally double the price, or even triple the price if it's a 2012 and up? What do you think of the color combo? Let us know in the comments section. What would you do with these little hubs at the bottom? Folks, I'm relying on you. You decide, and I'll put the work in. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I can't emphasize how much I love having an all-analog Porsche 911. It's big fault. Get a 1999, you don't have to worry so much about the IMS bearing, less than 1% failure, but you're at about 8% failure under warranty. Assume that it's more around 10 to 12% overall, or maybe even a little bit more for IMS failure. When they went from a dual row to a single row, they went to a single row IMS bearing mid 2020. So come July 2020, they had the single row and it was not reliable. So other than that, and the excessively quiet exhaust, you'll want to get a swapped exhaust on one of these, but then you'll have the most analog Porsche 911 you could ever imagine. And believe you me, they're incredibly fun. We have a Shelby GT350, 2017 Mustang Shelby GT350. And that has so many aces and spades, and it's an incredible vehicle, but this is very special, very unique. The handling is magnificent. We have a Toyota MR2, very different, mid-engine, also very, very interesting, but I gotta say, I prefer this. And actually, a friend of mine has a 2012, and I've got to say, if you've got the money, get a 2012 Porsche 911. That is the ultimate sweet spot, but you will pay more than double the price. This is generally 30 to 40,000, and for a 2012 you're going to be paying 80 to 100,000. So just keep that in mind when you're dropping the comment. What would you do in this situation? Until next time, I wish you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal in a car that you love sometime real soon, and we'll be sim racing in the meantime to practice our skills, because we can't drive like that on the main roads. Wish you, of course, a wonderful week. Godspeed, everyone, and God bless.